What's up, guys? Lord Dilly here. So earlier this week, Troy Aikman roasted Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott on not doing more to get CeeDee Lamb involved in the game. Said they need to dumb it down essentially and basically run more easy routes, hitches, slants, outs, some quick throws to CeeDee Lamb to get him involved in the game, especially when he's one-on-one on the outside. I'm going to show you the quote here in just a second, and then we'll jump into some film and I'll show you exactly why Troy is correct. Let's check it out. All right, so before the snap, you're going to see CeeDee Lamb here. He's in single coverage, one-on-one with the corner. Pretty easy to figure that out. They have a single high safety. At the snap of the ball, you're going to see the linebackers peel out, so an in route probably wouldn't be great here, but you could run a bubble screen. You could also run a quick hitch to the outside shoulder throw. You'll see here the defender has his hips turned. Perfect time to run that comeback route. Doesn't do it. Dak misses the throw to a wide open Schultz across the middle, so at the end of the day, probably wasn't a terrible play call because Schultz was wide open. But this is an opportunity to get CeeDee Lamb the ball with a single high safety who's playing way off. One corner off to his side, covering him one-on-one, 8 yards off the ball. Just get the ball in his hands, let him make a play. I'd much rather do a quick screen play to CeeDee Lamb with the defender playing that far off than, try and get the ball in Schultz's hand. There's a potential to house this thing if that safety takes a bad route and CeeDee's able to break that tackle of the cornerback. But they don't do it, and you'll see here, it is an incompletion, and moving on down the line. So here you're going to see a single high safety again. Cornerback's going to be one-on-one to the outside with Lamb. It looks like they are playing a zone defense. Now, what's interesting here is you could have had Lamb just run straight down the field, one-on-one with the cornerback, test him, see who's a better athlete, who can catch the ball. Or as soon as this defender turns his hips, again, you can have Lamb run to the outside on a comeback pattern. Once the hips are turned on the DB, it's exceptionally hard to plant and come back in time if the ball's got enough velocity on it. So you have Lamb run to the outside, put some zip on it, easy first down. They only need 5 yards, and they're running a 12-yard comeback route. And oftentimes, the name of the game is just get the ball in your best playmaker's hands, and they didn't do that enough. Again, you'll see a single high safety. I see a recurring theme here. Defenders playing almost 10 yards off the ball, off of CeeDee Lamb, and they actually run a good play here. They actually do the proper thing. They run a comeback route, and CeeDee Lamb is wide open. So, hey, great job, guys. Now the issue is the offensive line can't block. Check this out. You'll see defender opens his hips up. CeeDee Lamb stops and comes back, and the corner can't make up for it. Defender from the inside is coming out, but if you put that ball on the outside, that'll be a completion. But like most of the day, the offensive line falls apart and they can't make a play because Dak is under pressure running for his life and can't find a receiver that's open. The offensive line play here is absolutely embarrassing. Connor Williams is probably one of the worst left guards in all of football. He's not strong enough. He's not quick enough. He gets beat on bull rush. He gets beat on what you see here is a swim move. He's just not good. And if there's one spot you can't have pressure from on the offensive line, it's the inside. If your quarterback's being flushed out every single play, or you're at risk of a holding penalty every single play, you got to let that guy go. And thank God Connor Williams, I believe he's in a contract year. He should be gone. Really got to focus on the line in this draft. Kellen Moore doesn't do enough to make a concerted effort to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers. It's great to take what the defense gives you. That's what Tom Brady's done his whole career, and that's why he's the GOAT, and it works, right? But you also have guys on the team that have to touch the ball. You can't allow CeeDee Lamb to have one catch the entire game. You have to scheme ways to get him open. Same thing with Amari Cooper. When Amari Cooper is flowing, it really feels like everything is clicking. You've seen some of our best games where Cooper has been the focal point of the offense. And to not have any sort of production from Cooper or Lamb, who are supposedly, top 15, top 20 receivers in the NFL, you're not going to win that way. You have no ground game to speak of because your offensive line sucks. Zeke was playing with a torn PCL, which don't even get me started on that. That's coaching malpractice. They knew about that all season, and they continue to let him play and get the bulk of the carries over Pollard, who, by the way, the one series he had that was a focus on him and hurry up in the beginning of the game was a touchdown drive. So, heaven forbid we let him get more play time. Don't even get me started on that. Anyways, you got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and to basically focus on Dalton Schultz. The only deep ball they threw all game, I think, was to Cedric Wilson when only he and Noah Brown were in the game in basically a running package. I just don't understand the thought process there. You've got guys that just have to get their touches in order to make an impact in the game, and they didn't do it. You saw the plays that I showed you. There was a single high safety. They did that almost the entire game. They had guys down in the box just tempting you to throw the ball, but because the pass rush was so good and our offensive line sucks, we just couldn't do anything, and we couldn't back them off because we couldn't complete any balls down the field. So there's a balance you have to strike. You have to have enough deep balls to back the defense off, but you've also got to take what the defense gives you. And if the defense isn't giving you those deep balls, just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. Run quick screens, run slants, quick outs, hitches, things like that. Not 12, 15 yards, but 5, 6, 7 yards. It's okay to get 5 yards of play, guys. We don't need to pick up 20 yards of play unless our offensive line is going to false start and hold every time we're on the field, and now you're facing 1st and 20, 2nd and 20 every single drive, which is a whole nother reason we're losing games this year. I love taking what the defense gives you. You also have to force some things sometimes. We obviously went through the Dez Bryant era where Tony Romo threw a ton of interceptions throwing the ball to Dez because he forced it a little bit too much. There's definitely a balance there, but you can't go too far in the other way where all you do is take what the defense gives you, because the defense wasn't giving you shit in this game. So, those 12-yard comeback routes weren't working. Those 15-yard ends weren't working. Nothing was working because your offensive line couldn't block. Your guys couldn't get open in the secondary, running these deeper routes, and your run game was non-existent. So, anyways, guys, I could go on for another 20 minutes about what Kellen Moore did wrong in this game and probably a handful of other games. I do think he's a little bit overrated. I'm going to go ahead and sign off because my blood pressure is starting to rise and I don't want to have a heart attack. So, check out the channel, subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm going to have a series coming out absolutely blasting the refs soon because this was a horrible season for all teams, not just the Cowboys, but obviously I'm going to focus on the Cowboys. And listen, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, let me know what you think below, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.